Hey y'all, what's going on? It's the Culture Critiques panel, and we are back to discuss the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's season 6, episode 14, My Big Fat Greek Mother's Day. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Let's go. Let's go.
Not I hit the wrong button. Hey y'all, what's going on? We're back. We're getting down to the wire though. Unfortunately, I hate to say that we're getting down to the wire. I think we only have one more episode and then the finale, honestly.
Woo!
So yeah, I'm not too happy about that, but nonetheless, we're not going to dwell on the negative. We're going to focus on all the positive feelings that this episode gave us. I just want to just start this off by where is it at? I need to give you your applause. I need to give you your applause. And that is because later on in the episode, like towards the end, when they're at the pool scene, I'm just going to say that you're definitely vindicated in your assessment of certain people. I'll get further into that when we get to that scene. But yeah, my hat is off to you because you definitely, I feel like you hit the nail on the head with what we probably will see to come in the future. So y'all definitely want to stick around to hear what I got to say about that. But how did you feel about the episode? Like what was it giving?
It was giving the like button because we didn't say so. So the like button needs to be hit. It needs to be touched on both our channels because we are streaming from both channels because that's what we do. That's how we do it over here at the Coastal Critique panel. Okay. So make sure you guys hit the like button on both channels just to get, we got to take care of some business. And so we got to do that. And make sure you guys are subscribed to me and my sister because we working hard over here. We working hard. Y'all don't understand the kind of the lives we live. We wives like these housewives. We not housewives though. There ain't no housewives in my bones. But what I am, I'm sorry. I hate when I do that. I'm so sorry. But look, what I do need y'all to understand is we working hard and we do try to come and give you guys the best of what we got. Right? Come on. There we go. And so we try to give you the best. And so, y'all, I need you guys to subscribe to our channel, and I'll need you guys to like the button, okay? Like the button. Button. Same shit. Okay.
You know what you're say, y'all.
But literally, this episode, this is what? The second day in Greece? Was it the second day? Second, maybe third day?
Third day? Wait, last week was they got there, they just rolled right into it. Where did we end last week?
Okay, so Mother's Day is usually on Sunday. So I think we're at the end of their week. Because if you think about it, it's Sunday.
I'm not
Mother's
sure.
Day is always on Sunday.
So, it was the day they got there and they rolled right into it, or I don't remember if they woke up again. No, this is they've already spent one night. This was the second night, I want to say, that they spent.
So they must have got there Friday, maybe Friday or Saturday. And then it's Monday. Okay. So I very much enjoyed this. So many reasons that I enjoyed this. The trip, of course, Angie is doing her thing. Like Angie is, she's giving, and like Lisa said, I hope she get all the grease that she needs to get, and I mean GREECE out of her. I need you to like birth it, like push it out and get it out, and so we can just move on, right? And then we can revisit like a birthday.
Yeah, I am definitely. I think this is really going to give my Greece fixation, its satisfaction, whatever the word is. I think I'm going to be happy after that. So I hope it's good enough for Angie too. But we shall see. That flag actually made another appearance. So she's getting it all out. She's getting it all out. This episode though, she did kind of irritate me a little bit at certain parts, just like some other people did, and we'll get into all of that. But overall, I was satisfied. I would give it like I would give it an 8 out of 10, honestly.
That's absolutely an 8, if not even an 8.5. I would,
Yeah, probably 8.
like, because like, you know why I would give it the 0.5 is because I told you so.
Yeah, y'all. So
0.5 with me, with the
without further ado, y'all, let's just jump into it. Yes, as we just said, it is now the next morning and it is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And we actually have Whitney waking up Heather. She was a little scantily clad. She was a little scantily clad, and I guess they ran out of towels or whatever. So she needed to go and wake up Heather top. I actually had to rewind this part.
Sorry.
I was like, what things are not? No, I wasn't. I definitely wasn't seeing things, but nonetheless, she woke her up like that. When Heather said that she was eating cheese pie and milk, that just like made my stomach turn a little bit. I don't know. Maybe that was my lactose intolerance. I don't know. I was just like, ooh, cheese pie and milk.
Wait, when they say cheese pie, does that mean cheesecake pie? Like, is that a cheesecake?
Like a not quiche, but like I've seen cheese pie. Like I've seen not sweet. It's more like of a savory thing. Yeah, I've seen it on like buffet lineups and stuff before. I just don't go for it because that's like, and don't get me wrong, y'all. Even though I might be a little lactose intolerant, I do still indulge in the dairy. But that's like overkill. When I heard her say that, like cheese pie and milk, I was like that's just a lot. That just made my stomach bubble. Anyway, nonetheless, her and Angie actually, they take a look around and they actually discover these friendship commandments, friendship amendments, whatever you want to call it. Y'all know, reflecting back on Bronwyn's founding fathers / citizenship event, they actually all came up with these different agreements that they are going to put in effect going forward. And she just wanted to throw this up there as a visual representation of such. And it works like what did she say? A like reverse star chart. So basically you don't want any marks on this board. And as you can see, it's none other than Lisa. Yeah, is that Lisa? Yeah, that has the most. Not really surprised by that. I'm sorry, y'all. This just goes to show what I continue to say, which is they prop Lisa up on this pedestal. And even in this moment, this is what I was referring to when I said Angie kind of irritated me because she's the first one talking about, oh yeah, we need to get some more marks on Lisa's side. And just like, why are we even, she hasn't even made her debut in the episode for real just yet. And you're already bringing her up. But anyway, whatever. So they all head outside to have a little breakfast and do all of the things. And Brittany is actually the first one to make mention of, it is such a lovely moment, but one person's missing. Who could that be? Oh, I forgot to upload that picture. But obviously, if you watch the episode, y'all, the missing link is Meredith, and the camera pans over to her. Of course, she, is looking like not too enthusiastic because remember where we left off in last week's episode. And so Heather asks Lisa, have you talked to Meredith? Like, what's up? And she was like, well, I text her, but she don't respond back. And Heather's like, yeah, I did see her this morning when we were all trying to make coffee or whatever. And the coffee machine was down, so she kind of just was over it and went back upstairs. She just has the look of she's over it, she's not happy. what have you. Hey, Mal, and hey to anybody else who's watching in the bushes, y'all. Come on, get in the chat. We want to hear from you. Let us know what you guys think of the episode. I see 19 people watching collectively. So if you are catching this on X, make sure you come on over here and like and subscribe to the channels, do all the things. And our social media accounts are scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So make sure you guys subscribe and follow us on there. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just say hi to my sister. Hi, Mal. Go ahead.
So Mary actually gets up to go check on Meredith, and Angie also tells them how, or I should say, even before she said that, of course, Heather is still playing victim. She still feels like Meredith needs to come to her, swallow her pride, for the sake of their friendship, she says. But like I said, Mary actually goes and checks on Meredith while Angie tells the ladies what they're going to be doing for the day. We're going to have, who is it? Whitney, Heather, Whitney, Meredith, and Brittany are going to be doing a Greek cooking class while Angie, Mary, Bronwyn, and Lisa will be riding donkeys. You know, we love the jackasses. Why not?
The donkeys. The donkeys, not donkeys. Donkeys. You got to say it like, you know, like Shrek. Donkeys.
So obviously one group is a little bit more happier with how everything is divvied up than the other group. And Whitney's like, you know what, at the same time, this might be good. This might be good in terms of them all, in terms of Meredith, of course, apologizing and doing exactly what Heather and Whitney want her to do. Angie does try to say that she divvied up the groups the way that she did so that they can make amends and hash things out and do all that type of stuff. But I mean, do you feel like she did that on purpose, or do you really feel like this was done to actually in the spirit of making amends?
I think it might be a little bit of both. You know, I like you say, sister, all the time. Two things can be true at the same time. So I think she was doing a little bit of both. And because I wouldn't want my trip to be ruined. And like we trying to figure out how long it's been. They just got there. like makes Friday, Saturday, they just got there. Sunday is Mother's Day. They have a week to be there. So like literally, I think that like they do it all the time. They either lock them in the same room and they get the smallest room with the bunk beds and stuff. Since we don't have no bunk bed room in no small rooms at this villa in this space that they're in, we're gonna put you guys in a cooking space, and it's gonna be a good time. You guys don't have to sit there and really talk to each other. You can, but for the most part, you just talk to the instructor if you really want to be a butthole about it. And some people were being buttholes about it, Meredith. And so, we gonna.
Oh, okay.
I think that Angie literally, she's like, you know what? We're not going to take too much time in spending with guys being in friction. That's what I'll say. I'm gonna go off camera, sister, just because I see I'm ticking. But yeah, I'm right here. Just because I'm ticking.
Okay. And speaking of Meredith, y'all, while Mary goes to check on her, Meredith tells her, like, basically she's sick of how she's being treated. She's sick of being treated like a piece of dirt. She's not in the mood right now. Quite frankly, Whitney is not her friend. So Mary's like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And she tells her that she doesn't feel as though Meredith is being heard. She's telling Mary that she needs to tell her how she feels, because she being Whitney at this particular moment hasn't really taken full accountability for how she's hurt Meredith's feelings. So Meredith needs to tell her directly up front. And she was like, we've got to get through it. You know, how else we're going to survive it. So we shall see what is to come. And moving right along. Oh, actually, let me stop. And I just want to highlight this, not because it was anything major, but just because I remember how we did make mention of noticing this last week in the episode. I think we were right. I think Lisa does have a bit of like circulation issues, because you can see she's wearing compression socks. And I know like when you travel long distances, like you should wear compression socks. And that is something that happens to just your average people that don't even have those types of issues during long flights and stuff like that. But I did happen to notice that. So I was kind of like, maybe, yeah, that is something that she deals with underlying. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that. I'm glad you brought that up, because I saw the hole in one, not like, but I saw her foot sticking out of one, and then I didn't see her foot sticking out of the other, and I'm thinking, what am I looking at? Like, I was like, what am I looking at, right? So I'm glad you said that. I really was confusion. Shout out to Jamie, that's me, because I really was. I was like, wait, what? So yeah, you're probably right. It does. There's something going on, but I'm sure it has to do with her diet. Wendy, shout out.
Help, like sodium or anything like that. I'm gonna assume it doesn't, but maybe that's why. And I also was in y'all, don't take it wrong and think that I'm just looking for any reason to be on Lisa's side, because I've liked Lisa in the past, but I do think that maybe could this potentially be a reason why she likes to sit in first class too, for the little bit of extra, leg room and stuff like that. And maybe she doesn't do that because she doesn't, want to just, put her business out there and stuff like that. But, maybe in her defense, maybe this is kind of why she moves a certain way, because she has, things going on. I don't know. Just wanted to bring that up.
I mean, we are a particular age, and shout out to us. Just saying, we got to do what we got.
Who else we got in here? Hey, Ken. Thank you for coming through. Y'all are so great. So great. We appreciate you. And so, where was I at? Okay, so they all begin to file on out to do the day's activities. And Angie, this is actually an activity Angie has done before. Back in 2019, her and her family, they did the donkey rides and stuff like that. So good on them. And of course, as they're filing on out to transportation, Lisa's bringing up the rear because she was in glam or whatever, but at least she made it on time enough for it to actually depart. So whatever. So as they get to the van, Meredith still looking like a beat dog. Heather's trying to make a moment, and she asks her like how she feels about how the groups are being divided up. And obviously Meredith's not happy. Obviously this is not how she would want to do things, but here we are. And so Meredith goes on to say that she's not able to even speak freely for herself at this moment, because they scrutinize pretty much everything she's been saying since the whole plane incident. And apparently she speaks as though she's just too educated and too eloquently. Heather must have been feeling some type of way about that, because she's like, oh no, like I'm very educated too. And according to her, it had everything to do with how she was being so pretentious and condescending towards her. And as Heather's explaining this, Meredith's phone rings, y'all. Meredith's phone rings. All the ladies, what? Huh? They're all like, what? Because then she answers the phone, and as you just saw, it was none other than Brooks trying to wish her a happy Mother's Day. And she's all like, yes, well, I have to get off the phone now because it's Mother's Day, and my son is calling me to wish me Mother's Day, and I'm being told that I can't speak on the phone on Mother's Day, and this is just so just against everything that needs to be happening to me on Mother's Day, just making a Meredith moment, of course.
Because what day is it, sister? What day is it?
It's Mother's Day, and she's a mother on Mother's Day, trying to do what mothers do on Mother's Day, is all Meredith was trying to do on Mother's Day. So they weren't trying to have it. They she does wind up getting off the phone, only for them to continue that conversation. I think it was Heather at this point that picked up the mic and went on a whole just rant about how, or actually no, this was after Heather gave us a very on par example of how the conversation went with Meredith on the phone. She had to do a little reenactment. Y'all know she had to do a little, get her jabs in there. And then it's actually where she starts to explain herself even more about how she felt as a hurt and scorned friend who she just needed her friend Meredith to take accountability and acknowledge how she hurt her feelings and yada yada. I didn't even write down this point, y'all, because at this point, if you've been watching the season, y'all know exactly what type of mantra Heather's been on since this whole plane incident. And so what did Meredith say? Lisa actually wound up jumping in because I think she was just trying to break up the uncomfortability of the conversation once Meredith hung up the phone, and she was like, well, I'm happy to be in Greece. Like, I love you, Jack and Henry, but I am so happy to be in Greece. Oof. And then the conversation continued after that. And Meredith does wind up saying that she's sorry. She doesn't know what else to say about that. And so this is still not good enough for Heather, though, because she's like, what about Whitney and Brittany? And this is when Whitney also jumps in and she's like, I'm not understanding what the issue is or whatever. And Lisa speaks up in place of Meredith. She does. And of course, Whitney tries to shut that down, Whitney and Heather. But we have Lisa saying, yeah, she's probably upset because did you forget you called her a pill popper and all these other things? Like, are we just forgetting that? And I want to say, yeah, there wasn't really any resolve right then and there in the conversation because they pull up at their location before we know it. And Meredith gets up and she walks away. She walks in the opposite direction of where they're going. And they're all like, okay, so this is kind of weird. So she gonna walk up here in her heels after she's all said and done? Like, what's gonna happen? And I'm not sure about you, but my main takeaways with this little van scene and stuff like that was a couple things. One, yes, was it kind of perfect timing for Meredith's phone to ring? And could she have possibly used that a bit as a scapegoat? Yeah, I'm sure she could have, because had she been able to be in the, what's it called? If she was on land, on ground, would Meredith probably have disengaged and walked away? Yeah, this is probably what she would have done. But because they were in a moving vehicle, this was the equivalent of her doing her disengaging, gets up from table and walks away. I'm sure she did, but at the same time, because obviously they all knew they were going to be on the trip during Mother's Day. This is nothing new. And they were doing something more like extreme sports, like, or doing something that just completely took them off the grid, she wouldn't have been able to talk to him anyway. So it was befitting. But and I also, Brittany was like the first person to try to roll her eyes and shit. Get the fuck out of here, Brittany. I want to say she already had something to say about how Mother's Day is kind of like bittersweet for her because it reminds her of like her fractured relationship with her daughters. At the same time, it's a good distraction, but it's not, but it is. Enough. Like, Brittany, you're not allowed to speak on anybody's anything. When it comes to mother stuff, you're not allowed to speak on anybody else's situation. Whether that person is right or wrong, you are not the person that's allowed to say anything. Period. Full stop. Heather and Whitney, your whole thing, y'all's thing about Lisa continuing to jump in stuff and speaking for Meredith, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because Heather and Meredith tried to pull you to the side and have this conversation. You wouldn't let her do that. So honestly, Lisa's better than me because I would have been like, okay, so you guys can both shut the fuck up. Because when I tried to talk to you guys offline, or when she tried to talk to you guys offline in front and not in front of all of us, you didn't want to talk about it. So now that you want to bring it in front of everybody's face, I feel like I can weigh in on it. You made it a public spectacle, so I'm going to speak on it because I'm allowed to. And that should have shut them both up, because they oftentimes they do this double tagging cousin thing all the time, when it's cool when they do it. So why is it not okay when she speaks up and says something that you could have had said not in front of her? And yeah, I there was just a lot of different things in there, and I felt like, yeah, I was a little irritated with multiple people in this situation. Hello, sister. What's going on?
Hey,
Love
all
you.
right,
What say you?
Yeah, this is what I love about the Gemini mind over the Libra mind, because I have the Jedi mind trick. So when she bring the actual factuals, and I'll be like, ooh, yeah. When it comes to the cousins, I'm always down for bad weather. Always been down for bad weather. Gonna be down for bad weather always. Um, I'm okay. I'm sorry. I'm okay with the girls, the cousins, doing what they do, because it almost takes two of them to take down the what we call the alliance of Lisa and Meredith. It's fair. It's all fair in love and war for real. But the fact that there's two of them, literally, because every time somebody talks to Meredith, the two-headed dragon, the other dragon speaks. It's like, girl, I'm gonna need you to shut up. I'm gonna need you to shut up. So if it takes me and my cousin to get through to you and your allegiance, your alliance, your fake ass two-headed dragon, whatever y'all think it is, girl, please, y'all not about to do us. Especially when Meredith is in the wrong. Meredith is in the wrong for so many reasons, and now you're about to put the next layer. Oh, you know what? I'm making a cake. I'm gonna make another layer. I'm gonna put my kids layer on it. Put you in there with all mothers, bitch. All mothers. You're not the only mother there, girl. Please. Your kids, or what's your youngest kid? 20 something. My youngest kid is 15. Right now, in this very moment, he is 15. And if I was on a trip going, I'm in Greece, and he's getting on a plane to go somewhere, and he talked to me for a hot second to say Happy Mother's Day, and he heard my voice, and then I gaslight everybody in the van with me and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off the phone with you, son, because I'm getting flack and I'm getting heat from everybody that's on the van right now. So I gotta go. Girl, bye. Girl, shut up. Girl, shut the hell up. What you should have did was say, excuse me, Heather, in this moment, because this is Brooks. Give me a moment. Don't want to kill the scene, but I gotta kill the scene right quick. Hold on a minute. And then you take your call. But the fact that you picked up the call, and then all the ladies is looking at you, it's like, girl, Meredith, you are not nobody special on this trip. Not because you have two children. Whitney has what, two? Heather has three. Mary has one. Like, I don't know who died and made you the mother of all. Oh my kids are calling, and he's getting on a whole plane. Girl, so what? That mean he grown, right? Okay, and you talk to him, right? You heard his voice and said, Happy Mother's Day to you? Okay, girl. You got more than what a lot of ladies got that we didn't see. Now, production might have layered it up for us, but we didn't hear anybody else get a Happy Mother's Day from their children. We saw your child adult call. Okay? So let's be clear, Meredith. Stop acting like you didn't know that you was gonna be gone on Mother's Day. It's not even that serious, and you're trying to play dodgeball, and stop doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, no, do I definitely think that it was very befitting of her phone to ring, and then her to pan her focus on that completely, of course, but that just doesn't negate the fact that if certain people really wanted to make amends and wanted to put this to rest, that it could have definitely, it didn't even need to get to this point. This could have been addressed, I feel like. And ultimately, again, Heather's story did change up a little bit a couple times when if we're going to go back to the whole plane debacle of it all. First she was asleep, then she wasn't, then she was, then she wasn't. And Whitney does have a history of just throwing gasoline, I feel like, on something that's already sparking a bit. And I feel like that's what she did in this situation as well. Nonetheless, I'm glad that, going back to the scene, I'm glad that those ladies still went forth and tried to have a good time and were down to do their cooking class and do all the things or whatever. Mind you, Meredith is going on a world tour, or a town tour, I should say, by herself on foot, until she reaches a point of saying like, okay, well, I can't walk back there, so I have to kind of just show up and put my best foot forward. Their cooking instructor was very welcoming, was helping them learn about the dishes and the ingredients and all the stuff. And so then when Meredith pops up, she's still obviously looking like a beat dog. And the instructor actually still takes notice of why Meredith is looking like such. And she winds up getting like emotional at the table and the whole nine. And he's like, is there anything I can do for you? Like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? Whatever. And she's like, oh no, I do appreciate you. I just wish that, I wish that the ladies in our group were, as kind as you are, pretty much. And obviously the other ladies are overhearing this. And as she's going on to talk about how, it just really upset her that she wasn't able to have a full conversation with her son because he's about to go on a plane and go wherever. And this is her only chance to talk to him today. And y'all know, not saying that, she has a favorite child or anything, but y'all know how she feels about her Brooks. So she's like so upset about that. Brittany is still rolling her eyes, still having so much to say, because her whole thing is that she ain't got to talk to her kids for 3 years, so whoop-de-doo. And Meredith's like, typical, always making it about yourself. And what I'll say about that is, once again, Brittany's glad that I'm not Meredith, because she would have been wearing all those fucking ingredients if she thinks, once again, she's allowed to tell me anything about I could be on 10 right now, but that still doesn't negate the fact that you are an ancient ass mother. So it's your fault that you would talk to your daughters for 3 years. We're not even going to try to compare, plums to freaking watermelons. Like, that's not going to happen. So that's one. And then two, I do feel like Meredith may have said a little bit more to Brittany in that moment, but if she did, then that really would have called her bluff, and that really would have made it seem like it's really not that important or whatever. So I kind of do think at the same time she noted what Brittany said, but she knew that she probably couldn't react in this moment, because then they would be like, wait, but I thought you were so upset. So now you're able to table that to be upset with her now. Like, but shout outs to their instructor. He was very kind and patient and considerate, because she was visibly upset and all of that, y'all. And this is also a split scene situation, because while they're over here down in the dumps, we have the other ladies riding high on those donkeys, and they are just having a great old time, except for Mary. Mary was a little upset. She was a little upset because she felt for the donkey. She felt bad. She would rather them on horses, but they're on donkeys nonetheless.
Yes, indeed.
Which I
love it. At least she, you know what? Kudos to Mary. She deserves an applause, because Mary don't do nothing. Yeah, Mary's just like, you know what? This we doing, riding the donks. Okay, we gonna ride the donks, and those are all little girl donkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Girly donkeys. okay? And
Do
yeah,
they
so
bite? Do
they
they
bite.
bite?
Yes.
Yes.
Do
Oh,
they
they
bite?
bite. Yes.
Wait,
Oh
they
no.
bite. How do you say bite in Greek?
No.
I was like, and you say, no, they don't bite.
That was really funny. But yeah,
That's
shout out to Mary. I just, again, if this was a couple seasons back, I just don't see her being down with the get down so much. But it was in, oh, here it is. It was a really nice shot too. Overall, of like just seeing them riding through the town and city and everything, and it looked like a really nice time. And of course they took a moment to reflect on, so how do you think it's going over there with the, the other folks over there in the cooking class? And they're like, they probably having as much fun as us. And of course they being Angie and Bronwyn mostly were very vocal about how they felt Meredith was being and whatnot. And of course Lisa is going to speak up in defense of Meredith, and they tell her like, okay, but everything that they were telling Lisa, though, as she said in her confessional, was definitely going in one ear and out the other. Because in Bronwyn's like, friendships, you have to be comfortable being fallible, you have to basically, I guess, like have a little bit of humility about yourself, and that's not something they're seeing with Meredith. And Angie's like, Meredith, she just needs to own what she said. And she's like, Lisa has been helping her, so maybe this is a good moment for Lisa not to be there to offer her up that help. And again, Lisa's like, yeah, okay, I'm, she's a good friend to me, I'm a good friend to her, and it is what it is. I did appreciate Lisa not making a moment out of that and just saying like, I hear y'all, I'm gonna play it nice in the moment, but ultimately I'm gonna still do what I want at the end of the day, for the sake of the trip and for the sake of just our eyes. It's clear that they're not coming up off that alliance. It's clear that nobody wants to admit that they're wrong, or and everybody wants to point the fingers at everybody else. So I'm just glad that at this point we're not going to get a resolution. We're not going to have everybody on the same page with this one. It's just going to be one of those things where we just have to just move on. And I'm glad that I feel like certain people are getting that, other people not so much, but we'll see.
Yeah, I can appreciate Lisa in this moment. She usually doesn't give me appreciative moments. So I can appreciate her in this moment. And as far as her and Meredith's alliance or allegiance or whatever it is that they have, I do appreciate the fact that Lisa does see what Meredith is doing. Like she keeps linking them all together, which is funny to me because at the end of this episode, Bronwyn gets so offended that she thinks that somebody is linking everybody together. And Lisa literally, when she speaks, she is literally talking about Meredith, but she's linking everybody together. I don't know if you guys have caught that, but she's literally is like, well, I mean, if you guys just speak your piece or just say what's really on your mind, and everybody is saying what's on their mind except for Meredith. And so you're literally saying that, and you are linking everybody together when it's really your friend that's, withdrawing when it's time to come forward, which is confusing and which makes Meredith unhappy. I mean, not Meredith, it makes Heather in a weird spot. And so, like, every time that Heather, like, comes forward a couple of spots, I feel like Meredith backs up instead of her coming forward. Like, okay, so we're gonna meet. We're gonna meet. Meredith backs up a little bit from Heather. So right now, Meredith is in her feelings, and that's fine. I love the fact that people see it, just like when Meredith saw it when Heather was in her feelings. Remember, Meredith tried to break the ice. Heather wasn't budging last episode. So now you get a little taste of your own medicine, Heather.
I think it's up because Meredith, that's the thing. And even going back to this comment, why go somewhere if you don't want to be there? If you want to get paid, still fake a headache and stay wherever y'all are. Mm-hmm. Meredith tried to address Heather on not even just on the trip. We got to remember too that she texted her before the trip or whatever. Heather is trying to make this moment in front of the camera, and yeah, did technically, not even technically, did literally Meredith did a bit of the altercation happen in front of the cameras? Of course it did. But at the same time, if you really wanted to make amends and it really wasn't that important to make it a public spectacle in front of everybody else, then you would have answered that phone and you would have, for the sanctity of y'all's friendship, y'all would have talked before the trip even happened. But no, Heather, you don't want to do that.
You know what it is? I don't know what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I don't know. Do you know what it is? Why Heather is doing what she's doing?
Yeah.
Okay, you tell me why. What's your reasoning why she's doing it?
Other than the obvious that she's trying to, this is all for the storyline of it all. I don't know beyond that what you could be referring to.
Well, for me, I think that Heather is trying to appease two people at the same time. She's trying to figure out some things with her and Meredith. But the thing is, if you listen to what Whitney is saying, Whitney keeps saying, like, I don't know how to come back from this. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I can even trust Meredith. I don't know, Whitney's been sticking to her guns a little bit tougher with Meredith, even though, we do get a breakthrough a little bit later in this episode. But I say that to say that I feel like Heather was like in a tug of war with her cousin and how she felt about Meredith. And like, because if you go back a couple of episodes, Whitney was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with Meredith. I don't know what to do. Right. So then you get Heather like, my cousin don't know what to do with her. I don't even know what to do with her because I keep trying to, throw her a bone, and she keeps like ice princessing out. Like she doesn't want me to, talk about it. So for me, it's like a tug of war between Heather and Whitney. Heather being that she's trying to please Whitney or stay on the same side as Whitney or have a allegiance to Whitney, alliance to Whitney, because right now, not that Lisa is pushing Heather away, but Meredith is. And I'm loving the fact that Lisa's not like pushing Heather away, because it could have been both of them. Like, you know how they do. They can both get on her. And so I'm kind of digging the fact that Lisa is not doing that. I am digging the fact that Lisa's not pushing Heather away. She understands where Heather is coming from. She sees the side for Meredith as well, even though she's talking too much for Meredith, but she's trying to play devil's advocate for those two girls. And I can appreciate that part because Lisa doesn't give me that all the time. So I'm like, oh, okay, I see you. I see you trying to show Heather that you're there.
Mm-hmm. And even in this next part, Lisa does speak up, like she does subtly call Meredith out when she's like, I don't think your emotions have anything to do with Mother's Day. And as Meredith, again, she's at the table. This is once they all come together and are going to have lunch or whatever at the restaurant. And actually, before I even say that, I just remember too, you said they were making like Lisa was adding them both to the pot or whatever, and she was speaking about she was grouping everybody together or whatever. But I thought Heather did that same thing. I don't know. Heather did do that same thing even on the van when she was like, okay, even when Meredith apologized to her or whatever, she still is now. She's like, okay, but what about Whitney and Brittany? And fine, okay, maybe Whitney, okay, fine. Whitney should have spoke up for Whitney in that moment and been like, what about me? But Brittany, definitely not, because Brittany and Meredith had a conversation. So technically speaking, there should be no issue between them. And have you bringing that up then?
You saw what Brittany said on the Sprinter van when Meredith picked up the phone. She said, she said, hey y'all, she's on the phone with her kid. like, you know, so Brittany is like still, you know, it's not like, oh, you know, I'm in Meredith's corner, but she's like show her some grace a little bit, because, you know, me and her we've been on the outs, and me and her have decided to start over, and, you know, and so like I'm trying to speak up for her in this moment. So I like that. I was like, okay, Brittany, I see you, girl. Because at first when she said, I was like, what, Brittany? But I was like, oh yeah, you guys got over your little tiff.
Yeah,
Your
but then
your little announcement.
she was also rolling her eyes back there though too. So not
Well,
too much.
because we get the condensed, you know, that could have been a 45-minute ride. And you know, they're gonna give us 1, 2, you know, we're gonna get 3 minutes of a 45-minute ride, and they're gonna give us the eye roll and all that. So I take those things with a grain of salt, unless there's something that is said, and then in the next scene where it's like, okay, that's warranted. Oh, girl, that's why you was rolling your eyes. But I didn't get anything from Brittany that gives me something that she was particularly like teeter-totting, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm being on Meredith's side. Oh, but here she go, being dumb. Oh, well, no, I understand what she's saying. Oh, but no, I don't really understand what she's saying. So I didn't get that as much. I see what you're saying, though. I saw what the production was doing, but I didn't check for it that time.
Mm-hmm. All in all, I guess you could say they're able to. I don't know if you want to call it making amends. They're able to put it to rest enough in this episode by the end of this lunch scene. I know I particularly liked that Lisa once again was like, when it comes to Whitney and Meredith, they're not going to get along because Whitney feels one way and Meredith feels another way and drops Mike. That's what it is. Like, y'all are not going to get an agreement on this. So yeah, there's really no point in continuing to beat a dead horse, in my opinion. And this is where Whitney also speaks up to say, when it comes to me talking about you popping pills and the alcoholism, that was not appropriate. So I'm sorry that I called you those names. And Meredith's like, okay, great. And in her confessional, Whitney's like, you know, I never should have called Meredith those things, but it doesn't take away from her concern for her as far as the friendship, as far as her being a friend, I should say. And even before that, Mary had even stepped in to try to understand if any leeway was made while they were at lunch. Of course, as we know, there wasn't. And again, I'm glad that Lisa still spoke up, and you didn't hear Meredith denying that Lisa's point of it being more than just emotions over Mother's Day. So yeah, I feel like multiple things in this conversation could have been addressed and said from the horse's mouth prior to. Whitney, you could have been acknowledged the fact that you were dead ass wrong for saying that. Meredith, you could have acted like it was not a detour, it was not a deflection. You could have just spoke from the heart and been like, I'm just pissed off about all of what is going on with us in this group right now. It has nothing to do with it being Mother's Day, because again, y'all all knew that you'd be on this trip when Mother's Day came. Like, it was planned. Like, you saw the calendar and we're like, oh yeah, we're going on this trip. Oh, Mother's Day is this day. Okay, yeah. Like, we all knew Mother's Day was going to happen. So yeah, Meredith, I can't get behind you on that one per se, but I'm glad that they were able to all do a OPA in the end, and I hope we don't have to hear about this anymore. I really do. So they all had.
Since I was on mic, I had muted my mic because I got the meeting pretzels, my favorite, the dots. Anyway, my favorite. But that's why I'm drinking wine, because of them.
Yeah,
animal print, because animalistic. Everything is animal print right here. You know what I'm saying?
They did have some wine. Shout outs to them. Heather, Giovanni doesn't want you. So they all head back. They all head back for dinner.
Out with the Rolex. Go ahead.
No, he wants to stay over there, and you stay in Salt Lake. So they all get back to the villa, and the conversation on the van turns to like Heather showering, and then 10 ones and 10 twos, which are code for pooping and peeing. Like, what? I don't know what that was all about. Meredith was back there, sleep almost, and we also find out that one of the donkeys had a little bit of diarrhea. Oh, poor donkey. But yeah, I they always got to interlace some weird conversations about bowel movements or something. It always has to come up in this show. Nonetheless, when they get back to the villa, they're all having some fun.
I hate that they do that. They go so low. I don't want to.
I mean, I don't mind like a little bit, like whatever. We all have weird conversations sometimes, but it was just so like.
There y'all go again. Go ahead, sister. I'm sorry.
So random and weird. Like the terms they were using, I'm like, if we're gonna talk about it, just say it. Because who calls it that? I anyway. Like why? What? So they get back. They're all at the pool. I mean, I don't know about y'all. I actually really liked Meredith's little get up at first. I was like, oh, that's so cute, and it was so on brand for that was the perfect Meredith aesthetic. I would expect her to have this in her closet, definitely. But everything seems to be copacetic enough, because they're racing in the pool. We got Angie trying on Meredith's clothes. Everything was cool. Even the conversation that ensued was cool enough. And speaking of Mother's Day, once again, I guess Meredith can be completely happy at this point, because Chloe and Brooks sent her some flowers. I was like, I don't know why that was the only bouquet of flowers. I don't know why nobody else got a bouquet of flowers. Other families and husbands and whoever's, but whatever. Nonetheless, and you heard Lisa say, she's like, she don't really like flowers. I like stuff, because the flowers die. I was like, I like stuff and flowers. I want the stuff and I want the flowers too.
I want it all.
But I wasn't surprised. I'm like, that's such a Lisa thing to say. But nonetheless, then I forget who it was that asked about Electra, and like, does she identify with the Greek of it all? And she's like, she mostly identifies with her horse stuff. I'm like, I feel like that was kind of like a weird answer. Why did she just say, we still don't know Sean. I don't know his background exactly, but why didn't she just say, she identifies with insert Sean's background in the picture? I was kind of confused by her saying horse stuff. I'm like, so she thinks she's a horse. What are we talking about? Like,
yeah, that was weird, because we talking about her ethnicity. What are you talking about?
Horses. And maybe because, like, I don't know, maybe I don't know if you ever watched that show. Was it My Strange Addiction, I want to say, or something? And like, I remember like a girl on there, like she thought she was a horse. Like she used to like, and she would wear like yeah. So that's literally where my mind went when she said that. I was like, but that's just me. That's just me, y'all. That's just me.
Nothing, but okay.
Nonetheless, then they all kind of start talking about their first kisses, and apparently Heather had like the hottest boy in school at one point. They used to dry hump, weird stuff. Just we always got to talk about all of the intricacies of people's sex life and stuff like that. But it wasn't weird. This is the point in which my good sis was vindicated in what she said, I feel, because they asked Bronwyn, like, oh, so you ever kissed a girl? And she's like, yeah. How many? A handful? Like, we done more than kiss a girl? Yeah. Like, Whitney, can you come help me? Whitney, what's going on? What's up?
Can you help me? SOS.
You help me with your lips? Okay. And then they proceed to peck each other. Okay. All right. If you guys are wondering why I keep saying my sis is vindicated, it's because she said she can really see Bronwyn getting getting in a relationship with a woman, pulling a Kyle Richards. She could really see that being in Bronwyn's future, and I felt that way too. But this was only just further proof. It just seemed so. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I see it. I can so see it.
Yeah, what she say? I support the LGBT. She has the alphabet, the plus sign, all in the right areas. Like I can't, because I can't remember all the letters anyway. AI plus. This is the so yeah. Like me, I like I'm gonna go off camera because I don't want to be ticking. But literally, all I'm saying is I'm not mad, girl. Live your best life. If that what it is, you want to kiss Whitney, you thought it was okay because Whitney come help me, meaning come kiss me to get me out of what I'm going on. I was just like, oh, it literally happened. I feel like a little more could have happened because I've been hearing little whispers of things. Is what I've been hearing. But
it happened, y'all. She's not lying. And one more thing that happened that I, the comedic relief that Mary gives this show is just, you can't even quantify it. What did she say? I don't think they dewormed the.
They didn't deworm them. She meant devein them because there's a vein running through the damn shrimp. And she said, what did she say? They didn't.
I'm very, very particular about my shrimp. Thank my mother. So I would have been like that's the first thing I went when I eat shrimp. So
and what
I was like, okay, whatever.
I don't think y'all know, but the crawfish got the same thing.
Yeah,
so
Mary,
that was
she's nothing's gonna get past Mary, y'all. But anyway, oh, and I also laughed too when Bronwyn was like, one day Mary's gonna be like, to her grandkids. One time I was on a plane and I overreacted. I was like, that was funny. And she said that because the story that Meredith offered up, like her wildest like story or whatever, was like, oh yeah, we had a big old house party and like I was the youngest out of my siblings, and the only reason why my mom knew that we had a party was because we broke a dish. Yeah, that happened. And honestly, I feel like that was on purpose too on Meredith's part, because she's like, I'm not about to tell you guys anything for real. But they were all like, womp, womp, womp.
They were like such a rebel.
Yeah, that is awful. Oh, you were definitely not straight edge.
I'd rather you not even say the story if you don't want to give us the real tea. Like, don't give us the story, because
honestly, do you blame this group or any Housewives group? Ultimately, I can't.
Don't. I don't want to. Okay,
that was such. If you guys watch Real Housewives of Potomac, I was like, that's such a Meredith and Stacey would probably get along so great, because I feel like that's something Stacey would have said too. Like, but I thought it was funny.
I've been saying for a minute, not to switch Housewives, but we're gonna switch Housewives for one hot second. But I've been saying for a minute that Stacey, don't let the QVC voice fool you. But going back, we're gonna come on back because
no,
like I've been trying to tell people, like, y'all gonna. I'm not saying she the biggest badass on the show, but what I'm saying is don't let the QVC voice fool you. That's all I'm saying. Princess.
Hey, princess. You need like you have to be very quick on your feet, very quick thinking and stuff, and just the way that, again, not to go too much in detail, y'all, about different show, but you have to be the way that Stacey's operating to a degree. You have to be very like smart and skilled, I feel like, in the way that she's operating over there. So no, definitely in support of what you're saying. Yeah, don't let the QVC voice fool you, y'all. She knows what she's doing.
No, I said this a while ago. here's the other thing. Please don't be a professional, a professor. A professor? What is a professional donkey? A smart ass?
Mm-hmm. So they all get ready for dinner, y'all, and Mary actually wound up staying back. She just too jet lagged. She needs a minute. Not mad at it. I get it. Whatever. And so Whitney. Well, first of all, Whitney chucking her Prada bag across the room. I was like, girl, weren't you just complaining about how you don't want to give up no money and stuff like that? You would think that you would treat your valuables differently, but that's just me anyway. So what was really interesting about this scene, though, y'all, is when they get into the van. And everything's all laughs and smiles, and we're having a good time. Finally, this is a girls' trip. Woo, Opa, the whole nine. Everything's cool until high body count of it all is brought up again, y'all. And so we have Brittany leaning over to Lisa to be like, haha, I trademarked that. Guess what? What? Lisa's like, you can't do that. What do you, huh? That's not, you didn't even come up with that. You didn't even say that. What? Huh? I'm about to lost my lawyers. Can she do this? And then so Amy's like, whoa, that's, huh? Like, that's not even lying. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, I'm the one that took it on the chin. So, and Angie is, you could tell I could tell she was pissed. She was trying to play it cool, but she was actually really pissed, if you ask me. And before we know it, she's calling out Brittany for trying to make money off of something that she coined. And again, Brittany's justification is, well, it was chucked at me and I took it on chin, and it is what it is. Yes, I did do that, and I'm not coming up off it. And so for whatever reason, Angie then brings it to how Brittany's hair is too long again, and she's actually making her want to cut a little bit inches off her hair. But it's like, okay, this is getting serious. And then the conversation continues even into the restaurant, which I'm like, ooh, I need to go to that restaurant when I go there. It look cool. But before we get back to that part of the conversation, was it Bronwyn and Meredith that kind of came up with this business venture because she has one of her cute little, was it a Judith Leader, like was it the martini one or cocktail like purse clutch? And I was kind of confused though at the same time.
I think it's a martini.
Yeah, I was kind of confused though about like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna like have a flask, but then we're gonna say don't. I was kind of confused. I'm like, so what was she? Like they're gonna sell the.
Wait, so you were confused. Okay, so here's the thing. So the purse is a purse, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like a cocktail, right? And then
yeah.
Meredith's question was it a straw? And it wasn't. And so she's like, oh, that would be dope though if you could have a secret. It would, if this purse was a flask, it wasn't a purse, it was a flask. And instead, it would be a secret to us, the women who buy the flask, and everybody else wouldn't know. And so that's why they were saying it like that. I don't know if that was the confusing part to you, or am I just?
But the way that they explained it, and they're like, not gonna. I don't remember exactly what they said when they announced it to them, but it was like the way they described it. It was like, huh? They're not. I don't know. It confused me, y'all. Nonetheless,
yeah, they actually used something that Brittany said.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to weave that into how it was like, ting ting ting.
It was right. You literally did exactly what Brittany did to Lisa. So you said that you guys are going to trademark something that Brittany said. And so Brittany is saying that she trademarked something that was negative said about her. And she took that negative and flipped into a positive, like Pops from from Boomerang. He like,
so they're going
around. with that, but here's what I'm saying. But with that being said, Brittany, to me, Brittany is in every she's in every bit of her right to do, and she coined the phrase or she went and did that. Because let's be clear, high body count hair was not the first time I've ever heard that because Angie said it. That wasn't my first time ever hearing that. So with that being said, you said it to her. She went and got it trademarked. You're mad at her for doing that because you call her Disarella when that's not ditzy. That was actually smart. Hence, if y'all know anything about hip hop history, the guys was Juvenile and Bling. The guys that did Bling Bling. Everybody come around and say Bling Bling. They didn't trademark Bling Bling. Somebody did, so they got paid. People got paid. So
I think we heard this a million times. I think Angie was I think she was honestly mad at herself that she didn't do it quick enough. So yeah, y'all, and to, you know, to get those things trademarked and, you know, because intellectual property is a thing. And yeah, you can think that, you know, you came up with something or whatever, but if somebody beats you to the punch, you know, you're pretty much screwed. But at the same time, it does take a bit to actually get those licenses and stuff like that. So I mean, Angie, if I was Angie, I would still file it or whatever with whatever justification and whichever one gets.
She might have not went all the way. You're right. And not only that, but didn't Ray J trademark his wife's name, Princess Love?
Yeah. I hope she got
weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's weird. But what Angie was like, that's weird that you would do that. And
it is a little weird. I was like, it is a little weird, but only because I'm like, it shows that, or maybe honestly, you know what it is? Angie low-key got beat at her own game. I feel like
there you go. All right. Sister, I'm not on camera, but I'm looking at you like, what?
Angie thirsty and stuff. And like they're like, oh my God, Angie was so thirsty to be on the show, so thirsty to be on the show. And that might be true, but I think Angie finally has been one-upped. I think the only other thirstier person to be on this show in that regard is Brittany. So of course she's gonna not lose out. Of course she probably has all these ideas ready to go. Like she is ready to be center snowflake at any point. So unfortunately, she got Angie. And I mean, like I said, you could still try to, you know, do your little 1-2 and see. But if it wasn't Brittany, like literally anybody could have did that. And that's why it's so important to do the legal paperwork and legitimize these ideas that you guys come up with or phrases or whatever it is, y'all. You want to make sure you protect your right to
but please don't try to diminish someone's worth or the way they took care of business. Maybe she didn't take care of the full business. We're not sure, but the way that the way Angie was being a mean girl to her, I was like, ooh, Angie.
Yeah,
I see why Kevin shout out to Kevin Reynolds because I was like, oh, this is the side you talking about. This right here. Because I was like, ugh. And I got real irritated. I don't know. I'm going to let you get to the last scene because then I will talk. But I was very irritated with the last scene with Bronwyn. But we'll get to it. I'll let you get to it, sister.
No, I don't really have much more else to say about it. Other than what did Brittany say? Like, oh yeah, maybe you weren't smart enough or whatever. You the last person talking about smarts, but she did outsmart you on that one, Angie, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. Other than it turned to Whitney did her whole little, yeah, I have a high body count outfit, but low body count hair. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say about it, honestly. So you could go, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I literally at the way Bronwyn Remember I told you that the whole link up, like she was trying to we weren't all we didn't say nothing about Brittany's hair. No, you didn't, but you laughed. You were sitting there laughing in her face. You and Meredith was acting like mean girls, sitting at the end of a lunch table and laughing about something that was not funny. Everybody at the table didn't laugh. You two did. And then somebody
Just like
called you guys.
when you fucking threw the fucking unicorn in that they were on that unicorn bullshit. That unicorn in
Come
the
on
fucking
now.
like
Come
let
on
us
now.
but let's
Come
think
on.
that's what happened last time y'all tried to be on a little island kikiing with one another.
Yeah,
Meredith
come on.
spilled the tea and you got pissed off at her, Bronwyn. So not too much, y'all, on the end of the couch.
Come
It was
on.
actually Lisa that was like, "Are you okay, Brittany?" Because we know how Brittany gets. And raise your hand if you guys thought that Brittany was gonna go off and cry when she stood up to put on her coat. But she's like, "No, I'm okay. That's all that matters." I was so sure. I'm like, "Oh, here we go." As soon as she stood up, I was like, "Oh God, here we go." But she played it cool, so we'll see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about that last scene. I was like, first of all, Bronwyn, oh, don't link us to all together because we didn't say nothing. I didn't say anything. Here's Meredith. I didn't say anything about her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, Meredith, if I could get any deeper, girl, you really be trying to sound like so professional or so like nobody's gonna get me anything because every time I say what I say, even though I play Jedi mind tricks and I want y'all to think what I say is real. And so when I say that you guys are liars and I don't know what you're talking about, I mean it. Like, girl, but we all saw it. So stop. So yeah, it was a good episode. I enjoy myself every time. And I'm kind of sad that it's about to be ending, which means that we are going to be finishing up another CCP. That's a Coastal Critiques panel. Oh my gosh, I hate when we get to the ending. I love doing I love to do our reviews and our recaps. So I hate when it gets to the end. But like you said, it's probably one more episode, then the finale, and then we'll get some couple of reunions most likely. So I'm here for it. We got a few times to be with you guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button for us, please, and thank you.
Yeah. Are they not coming out with I want to say they said that like what's it called? Rhode Island's not happening until like spring or summer. And then Beverly Hills just came on. Potomac is winding down. Shouldn't something else be coming back on? Or is this usually when Atlanta's on? Married to Medicine's on, but they don't hold them to the same standard.
Halfway through Meredith medicine. I think we get them like halfway through because we like pick up me and you do Atlanta when we do Salt Lake City, and I feel like
I don't think they're bringing Atlanta yet, though. I know it's done, like they wrapped filming and everything, but I'm not holding my breath on that being the next one to come, but I would think we're owed something.
Not owed.
I don't know, y'all. I'm not sure, y'all, but nonetheless, I know I enjoyed you just as my sis said. Y'all let us know what you thought of the episode, what your predictions as far as how this trip is going to end. Seems like next episode is going to get a little interesting. So, we're going to be back down here to talk about it. And yeah, I mean, I'm fingers crossed. Wait, are we even getting a new episode next week? With the holidays and stuff like that, they might play around with it. They might play around with us, y'all. So this is why you need to have your notification bell on so you know when we are going to go live and do all the things and whatnot. They still haven't came through with the reunion looks yet. We haven't gotten the reunion trailer, so who knows? Maybe they'll drop that at a minimum, and maybe we could just come and talk about that real quick if they don't come with the real episode. Whatever we do, y'all, to stay informed, it's best to, like I said, have that notification bell on and follow us on our socials so you don't miss out on anything Coastal Critiques panel-ish.
Man, I was trying to shout out one of our subscribers. She's been going Yeah, hold on. I don't know why my phone is not showing me my like after our review, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Um okay. She's been giving us like, oh, here it is. I'm about to give her shout outs right now because she literally, I'm gonna need you to go. I don't think you even saw.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so like Queen, hold on, let me get her little the Queen J dot Lotus
Oh,
underscore King Sunkiss. When I tell you, she comes under our comments. Like she like me and her have had two
nice.
separate, and she's like she tagged like the where she's commenting at. She puts the tag in, right. And when
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, so I went and checked her out. Love her content. Her content is about like literally doing readings on the housewives.
Cool.
Like
I'll have to check.
so like she feels what's going on and she does a reading on what's going on from all the housewives. Is so dope. And so like I need you to go in my comments and make sure that you go look at some of the
Okay.
stuff that she said and make sure that you go give her some love because when I tell you she's always right after, and when I tell you her comments are amazing, like people keep the conversation going in our comments seriously because
Yes.
she got it going on, sis. Like literally. So I went to go check her out and see what she was talking about. And her content is great too. So I just want to shout out. Let me say her name one more good time because I just love her so much. Queen J dot Lotus underscore King Sunkiss. Okay. Pretty girl, got the beautifulest accent. Like her accent, I think she might be from Memphis or something, or maybe Texas. She has such a cute accent and she reads the housewives, or I mean, read meaning a reading on the housewives of the situation. Really cute.
I'm here for it. I'll check her out definitely. Y'all heard what my sis said. Y'all go check out our new subscriber over there. And yeah, we will be back next time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things, y'all. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Oh my God.